I used to believe life becomes easier when you grow up. That one day, all the confusion, pain, heartbreak, pressure, and loneliness would disappear. But nobody tells you that sometimes growing up only teaches you how to hide your sadness better. And I became very good at hiding. The boy who laughed too much. People always thought I was happy. I laughed loudly. I cracked jokes. I made everyone around me smile. Teachers liked me. Friends called me the positive one. Even relatives used to say, "This kid has no tension in life." Funny, right? Because the truth was, I was drowning quietly. Every night after everyone slept, I would stare at the ceiling for hours, not thinking about anything specific, just feeling empty, like something inside me was missing. Sometimes I wanted to cry, but no tears came. And honestly, that scared me more. Is greater than the worst kind of sadness is when I don't even know why you're hurting anymore. My father worked hard, very hard, but somewhere between responsibilities and stress, he forgot how to talk softly. Every conversation became advice. Every mistake became disappointment. Why are your marks dropping? Why are you wasting time? Look at other kids. I know he loved me, but love without warmth feels cold. My mother cared too much, the kind of care that slowly becomes pressure. She wanted me to become successful because she believed success protects people from pain. But nobody told her. Sometimes successful people cry the hardest. The first time I realized nobody really sees you, I remember one rainy evening. I came home completely exhausted, not physically, emotionally. School felt heavy, friends felt distant, life felt repetitive. I sat in my room, hoping someone would notice something was wrong. Maybe ask me what happened. Maybe sit beside me. Maybe just listen. But the whole house was busy. TV sounds, phone calls, kitchen noises, normal life. And there I was, breaking silently in the middle of it. That day, I realized something painful. People notice your absence, but very few notice your sadness is greater than. Sometimes the loudest cry is the silence nobody hears. I stopped expecting people to understand me after that. Instead, I learned how to say, "I'm fine," even when I wasn't. The friend I never told the truth to, his name was Ian. Best friend, brother, the kind of person who could make an entire room laugh in seconds. We spent years together, shared food, shared secrets, shared dreams, but not once did I tell him how broken I really felt. Not because I didn't trust him, but because I didn't want to become a burden. That's the strange thing about sadness. It convinces you that your pain is inconvenient. One night, he called me, "Bro, you sound tired these days." I laughed. "Just sleepy." He paused, then quietly said, "Take care of yourself, okay?" I still remember that moment, because for 2 seconds, I almost told him everything about the sleepless nights, about feeling worthless, about the pressure, about the fear of disappointing everyone. But I didn't. And, honestly, that became one of my biggest regrets, is greater than the saddest part about suffering quietly is that people think you're strong. Love came softly, then left loudly. Her name was Meher. Some people enter your life like sunlight. She was one of them. Before her, life felt colorless. After her, even ordinary days felt beautiful. We talked for hours about dreams, about fears, about stupid, random things that only mattered because we shared them together. For the first time in years, I felt seen. She noticed when my smile looked fake. She noticed when my voice sounded tired. She noticed the silence between my words. And maybe that's why I fell for her, because people don't fall in love with beauty alone. They fall in love with feeling understood is greater than some souls feel like home even before you know them completely. One evening, she asked me, "Why do you always act okay?" I looked away because I didn't know how to explain that when you spend years hiding pain. Being honest feels terrifying, so I joked, changed the topic, smiled again. And she smiled too, but her eyes looked sad. Maybe she understood me more than I realized. The slow goodbye, people think. Heartbreak happens suddenly. It doesn't. Real heartbreak happens slowly, quietly, like watching someone emotionally walk away, inch by inch. Messages become shorter, calls become fewer, conversations lose warmth. And one day you realize you are trying harder than the other person. That realization hurts more than goodbye itself. I remember staring at our old chats for hours, reading messages from days when we couldn't sleep without talking. How do people become strangers again after knowing your soul? I never understood. One night, she finally said it. I think we both changed. Maybe she was right. Pain changes people. Pressure changes people. Silence changes people. But I wanted us to survive those changes together. She didn't. Is greater than sometimes people leave because they no longer know how to stay. When the fauna call ended, I sat in darkness for a long time, not crying, not angry, just empty, as if life quietly removed the last soft thing inside me. The nights nobody knows about there are nights people will never know about. Nights where you replay conversations again and again. Nights where your chest hurts from overthinking. Nights where loneliness feels physical. I used to scroll through old photos at 3 a.m. Not because I enjoyed memories, but because I missed the version of myself that existed in them, the happier version, the hopeful version, the version that still believed life would become beautiful. Sometimes I would stand in front of the mirror, wondering, when did I become this? Tired? Not tired from work. Not tired from studies. Tired from existing. And the scary part, I still woke up every morning, pretending everything was normal, is greater than Some people survive every day without anyone realizing they're fighting battles inside. Family expectations feel heavy when your heart is already tired. My parents wanted the best for me. I know that. But expectations become painful when your heart is already exhausted. Every relative asks the same questions. What are your future plans? When will you to become successful? Why are you so quiet nowadays? Nobody asked. Are you happy? Because happiness is treated like a luxury. Success is treated like survival. I studied harder, worked harder, smiled harder, but inside, I felt myself disappearing. There's a special sadness in becoming the person everyone wanted and still feeling incomplete is greater than the world celebrates achievements while quietly ignoring exhausted souls. The day I broke down. Alone, it happened. Unexpectedly. No dramatic moment. No huge tragedy. Just accumulation, pressure, loneliness, heartbreak, exhaustion, silence. Everything collapsed together. One night, I locked my room, sat on the floor,